So here's a little video blog about yoga teacher training. So here's a few more of my thoughts. So we just got done with day 2. So it's a Sunday after day 2. I am running a teacher training that is 15 Saturdays long. There's a couple Saturday breaks in there, but for the most part, it's every Saturday for 4 months. And so far, so good. I will tell you a few of the sort of ups and downs of this, trying different things. So I told myself after I won this training that I wasn't going to do another one in 2020 just because it's a lot of work and I was sort of burnt out from the last one and feeling overwhelmed knowing that I had to start one with 3 weeks in between, and it was a lot. But I'm finding that this training is a lot different. I'm doing the entire training at the yoga studio, so it's feeling more comfortable, and even just the simple thing of getting a little refrigerator so that people can store their lunch is such a big thing. It's a little thing, but a big thing. Because when people were here last time, they had to go out and find food. They couldn't, bring their own lunch or bring their own food because we didn't have, storage for it or a microwave. And so to have those two things makes such a difference when you're doing all day trainings so that people don't feel like they have to go out and buy food. And so I do have about half of them, so we've got 10 trainees, about half of them bring their own food and eat it here or sit outside. And as we head into spring, it's just so much more nice outside, and just this sunshine that comes in, it's just such a different feeling. So I ran my last training. It was every other weekend, Saturday and Sundays, and it was half here at the studio and half at the YMCA, and I think that was very challenging. I learned a lot, sure, but it was really challenging to be split because our break times would be quick, find food, okay, run over here. So I was hauling all of my stuff to the Y, and then I would haul it back to the studio, and then I felt like a scattered mess, and I didn't have everything set as much as I would have liked. So I'm glad I had that experience though, so I was able to learn from it. And then now I'm able to move forward and do this next training with a lot more ease, just a lot more calm. And so yes, I was very nervous jumping into this training very quickly afterwards. I had 10 trainees in the last one. I have 10 in this one. It's a good number, and it's also showing that it's a need here. I'm filling a gap that is typically not fulfilled. So there are a few trainings around this area, and I definitely recommend them. They're great. I'm not going to say do mine rather than someone else's, but there's a yoga training in Bainbridge Island. And that's about it. And there might be a couple other places, but not here in Poulsbo. So to have a local training has been really a benefit to those who are local. And those who are coming from the north, there's one person from Port Angeles, which is about an hour and a half away, one person from Port Townsend, which is about an hour away as well. And it's just so great that I'm able to provide this and have this as an offering. So now, with all that said, I'm thinking maybe I should do another one in the fall. I'll have to see what the interest is. I know I did have a bunch of people saying they couldn't do it this time around, but they would love to do the training and do it next time. And as the studio grows too, I know that there will be also some students or some yogis who also want to do the training. So this is where my mind is. And to tell you about day 2, I didn't have to plan as much because I had Jessica Tartaro come in and teach on authentic relating, or how to be an authentic yoga teacher. And here's a little bit of the notes. So she's got her 3-step process: imitation, cultivation, authenticity. But you can't get what she talked about really by reading the notes. It's very much an experiential experience. So she had us doing and practicing a lot of internal work, but also external. So we had to share with each other and partner exercises where we're sharing some deeper type of things and connecting on this level that's so phenomenal. And Jessica and I will have a little debrief, but I did have her in my last training come in and do this workshop. It was the first time she had done this style of workshop for teacher trainees, but it was amazing. And then so now we're learning a little bit more about what works and what doesn't work when she comes in and does the training, because I'd love to have her in every training I do, and I would love to have her more than once. So this first time was really, it was a challenge for a lot of people because they weren't used to feeling their emotions or even feeling your body. I know we do that so much as a yoga practitioner. We try to like embody our senses and feelings and emotions, but we're all still human. We're not perfect. We're still practicing. And to go even deeper, which is what teacher training a lot of times is for, is a powerful thing. So I was very happy, and I feel very lucky to have Jessica come here and help with the training. So she did a lot of the work around helping people connect deeper. And it was only day 2, so people still are getting to know each other. So it was maybe challenging having on day 2, but I do think my job is going to be a lot easier next week and the weeks following because she was here so early. I was debating if it would be beneficial to have her on week 3 or day 4, but I was like, you know what, let's do it real quick, really early, and really get some of that powerful stuff introduced, just like I'm doing with anatomy, where I'm introducing these concepts and things in like a basic level, but you don't have to take everything in and remember all of it, but just to have that experience right away, and then we can move forward a little easier. Like with anatomy, as I get these anatomical concepts or even just little words here and there, it'll be easier to talk about the poses afterwards, but right away it's overwhelming. So Jessica did some really deep connecting work, some really great work with us. It was very hard in the moment. A lot of us hit sort of our edge. Even myself, I will tell you what I did there, oh my gosh. Even myself, I did find an edge. It's actually very challenging for me to be embarrassed or to get to a point where I'm uncomfortable because I've worked so hard with all of this yoga and talking to people and all of that. So when I get uncomfortable, I know that's a good spot to be in. That's where a lot of growth happens. So I got uncomfortable, and I'm not gonna say what anyone else said in the training, of course, because it's sort of more confidential. We're sharing a lot of intimate details, but I will tell you one of the things we did. We talk about imitation. As a yoga teacher, you are imitating first, like the people that you look up to, your yoga teachers, the people you feel amazing about and that have helped transform your life. So the first phase is imitation, where you try to copy or be similar to that teacher, and that's great. I think it's wonderful to find someone to emulate when you don't yet know your own voice or you haven't found that yet. So one of the exercises I wanted to do, but not everyone had a teacher that had inspired them yet, and it's quite an embarrassing game to play or exercise, is to come in and teach a class as if you were that teacher that inspired you. It doesn't have to be your first teacher, but a teacher that you were inspired by. And so I offered to be the demonstrator, and I did as much of a demonstration. It was maybe 2 minutes, not even long, where I came in as the teacher that inspired me, or one of the teachers, and talked the way that he talked and walked the way that he walked. And I haven't taken this teacher's class in years, so I didn't get it perfect, but it was so much fun to be like exaggerated about with this acting like someone else. It definitely was not completely authentic to me, but it was so much fun. It made me laugh, and it made me remember the kind of teacher that I really enjoy, and to bring some of that into my teaching instead of trying to fit into this yoga teacher box, which is to me sometimes feels serious and stuffy, and then I have to be this like perfect person, which is not true. I'm very much a human, and instead my motivators in my life and what my values are having fun, smiling, feeling empowered and strong, and being silly. Those are things I really, really love to be and to show, which is different than others. I know others, when they talk, they want to feel safe and loved, and is more so for safety, whereas I'm looking to have fun and to enjoy the process and to laugh a little bit and to be funny. And that's sort of what I have to remember that I really love, and that's the tribe that I want to attract, or the vibe that I want to get out there. So I have to come back to that. It was a great fun exercise. No one else wanted to do it. I don't blame them. It was, I swear I blacked out a little bit. So we talk about finding your edge, and that was definitely an edge for me. It was to act like someone else, because he has an accent too. So I'm not used to talking in accents and being really out there. So anyway, it was a lot of fun, and I loved having Jessica there. We did restorative yoga afterwards to end the day, and everyone, I thought we would want more movement, but everyone was pretty much falling asleep. And it was someone even said that Jessica's workshop was a lot like brain yoga. You were like twisting and molding and shaping and stretching a lot of the muscles up here that we don't get to a whole lot. So I'm hoping that her workshop really brings in a good connecting point or cohesiveness to this group that can follow us throughout. So I'm hoping to have her back again as well, but we do have a lot of things to go through in training. We've got a lot of poses, a lot of practice teaching, a lot of content, a lot in a short amount of time. It's gonna go by so fast, and I'm so excited.